Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to Fat Cat Collection. Today, guys, I want to do another Invicta watch review. And this is a watch that was one of my earlier purchases. It is going to a new home. It's one that I got, and I just never really wore all that much. And I'll give you a little bit of reason on why. But it is the Subaqua Noma 3. Now, the Noma series and the Subaqua series is one of my favorite lines by Invicta. But I have to say, my favorite is always going to be the Subaqua Noma 5. They've come out with, I believe, 7 or 8 different variations right now. Don't get me wrong, all of them are really cool, but I picked this one up when I first started collecting Invicta watches and really discovering the brand. I've always been a watch collector. I've always had a few watches in my collection, but really after discovering Invicta, that's when my whole I guess my collecting style completely changed. You know, I'd always kind of had just a few watches and that was kind of it. With Invicta, they made the hobby of watch collecting so fun that it just encouraged me to really explore all the different brands, whether it be, you know, dress watches or dive watches, you know, higher end watches, even though I'm not one to actually spend a lot of money on a luxury priced item. I don't really want to even I shouldn't even call them higher end, because there are differences, like I said, across the board quality, but just because one may be perceived as higher end or technically be on books as higher end, it doesn't make affordable watches low end. It just makes them, I would say, like, you know, mid-tier, right? Remember, the higher end stuff is really going to be microscopic on paper differences, nothing tangible that you're really going to be able to feel, right, and see. So we won't get too much into my opinions on watch quality, but let's talk about the Subaqua Noma 1. Now, this watch I did just sell yesterday on eBay. I sold it for $169. Unfortunately, with eBay, they really take, like, I believe on watches, like, I think it's 15%. I mean, I always thought it was like 12, but it's not. What they did is when I know this isn't about the PayPal thing, but if you're going to sell something, they used to make it, you know, the fees be, you know, a certain percentage, and then you had your PayPal percentage. So overall, when eBay changed from not actually charging the PayPal fees anymore, when they went ahead and did their, I guess their, you know, all their fees and card fees all in-house, they claimed that a lot of sellers would save money. For me, I found it, and I'm not a seller, just when I decide, if I get sick of something or I decide I want to get something else, I want to sell something, I found that I have to spend more with the new eBay program. So with watches, I believe it's like 13 to 15%. It's a lot, you know, it's really a lot. By the time you go selling a watch, it's, you know, you get $169 for, I think that it cost me almost $30 in fees just to sell it on eBay. And then you're looking at plus the shipping, which is about $8 or $9, not say about $9. But here's the thing, you know, that is what it is. It's something you have to deal with anytime you want to sell something, unless you're going to, you know, deal directly to the customer. And, you know, a lot of times when people, you know, there are a lot of, you know, bad guys out there. A lot of people selling stuff on Facebook and the groups, and a lot of times people, you know, they work it out, but you really, as a buyer, you have no recourse. And as a seller, you don't have any recourse. So I like the fact that you can put everything in the listing, make sure you get, you know, all the details, and when somebody buys it, it's ultimately on them that they're, you know, they agreed to the terms, and it's now their product, right? So it sucks, but it also protects the seller. You know, if somebody orders something and I don't ship it, they have recourse, and that's not going to happen, of course. So let's talk about the Subaqua Noma 3 finally. All right, so a little bit about this watch, a little bit about the story behind this watch. This is when I first started collecting Invicta watches. I had just purchased an Invicta Venom watch, and I wanted something in a two-tone. At the time, when I first started about 7, 8, or 8 years ago, believe it or not, there wasn't as many Invicta watches as there are now. You saw them, they were out there, but nothing like the popularity that they have now, nothing like the amount of models they have now. They still had, don't get me wrong, they still have probably hundreds of models, but now they have thousands. So when I was looking, I found it very difficult to find a two-tone rose and silver watch that was in a decent price point. I didn't really want to spend $400 or $500. So I found this one. I think I paid about $2 something for it. I think maybe $220-ish, maybe. Hard to remember, and maybe, you know, not much more than $2. So, you know, not a lot. It was in my budget. I didn't really want to spend a lot. And so I found, again, the Subaqua Noma 3. I like this watch. It's got the pretty cool crown protector that you see like on the Subaqua, or on a lot of watches nowadays, but specifically on the Sea Hunter, we all recognize that. I believe the Subaqua Noma 1, or Subaqua Noma, is it the 1? Not the 1. I get confused. There's so many different models now. I believe they had this maybe on the 4. I don't know. I encourage you to check it out, look at the different models. But the Subaqua Noma series, I've never really been a huge fan of the 1. And when I say not a huge fan, I don't mean like I don't like the watch. It just doesn't really do anything for me to want to own it, right? It's a smaller watch, 47 millimeter. Then they came out with the Subaqua Noma 2, you know, a little bit more unique, nothing really over the top. And then they came out with the 3. And I think the 3 was really just an amazing looking watch when they first came out with this. And it's still a great looking watch. You have kind of like this basket weave or crisscrossed, I'd call it basket weave, kind of pattern around the center links. You have brushed stainless steel on the outside of those links. And what's cool about them, they have kind of like this kind of raised edge around the pin holding this all together. So you have a little bit more of a dimension there. Just it's a different band, you know. We're all used to seeing this style Submariner band on every friggin' watch out there that's not an Invicta. And I don't mean to overgeneralize. There's lots of really cool, unique bands, but you know, it is always, I do like Invicta that they always have a very unique band on all their models. Screw down function pusher, screw down crown, and of course your crown protector. Pretty cool. Snaps in place. Threaded case back. You have your Subaqua logo on the back. And again, a brushed finish on that rose tone and stainless steel. Around the bezel, you have sort of a kind of a matte finish. So I love that Invicta does a combination of not just colors on their watches, but even if you get a regular stainless steel one-color watch, you'll always have different variations in finishing, whether it be polished, sandblasted, matte finished, or brushed. So pretty cool. And what's nice about that is even when you have one color, all those different finishings really just kind of highlight the different aspects of the watch, you know, the different design aspects. So really cool. For you guys who make a big deal about branding, it does say Invicta on the crown protector. Oh no. But yeah, Invicta on the case back, Invicta on the band, Invicta on the face, and of course on the crown protector. Beautiful watch. Anybody who, you know, I always like to joke and make the argument, you know, people say turn the bezel on a Rolex and you're really going to feel a difference. No, you know, turn the bezel on this. It's a solid bezel. There's no play at all. Beautiful, beautiful turn. Nice rotation. 120 click unidirectional bezel, solid. And what I like about the Subaqua Nomas, they always add what I call pillars, or these kind of rolled, kind of tubular type edges. They always have some kind of design aspect on the bezel, signifying that it is a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever they're up to now. This one does have the 3 points, showing it the Subaqua Noma 3. So absolutely stunning watch. It's just one that, and the reason why I'm selling is just one that I just don't wear anymore. I got the watch, I wore it a few times, and I just don't really wear it. And I think because it's just, you know, I can't even really use the size. It's a 50 millimeter watch. It's still a nice size watch. I just, you know, I kind of had the idea that I really liked rose tone. And I gotta tell you, I find myself only really liking rose tone when it's matched with yellow gold. And that's kind of a great color combination that I really look for in a lot of watches, that two-tone yellow and rose. You don't see it, you rarely see tri-tone colors, which I love. But it's just something that I wanted a rose tone, and I just, you know, I just don't really wear all that much. And I think part of the problem with that is why I don't wear it is because when I got this, you know, the ball started rolling. The ball started rolling quicker and quicker. And as I started to really gravitate more towards the larger models, it's just one that just kind of went in the safe, and I just stopped really wearing it. It's just one that I never really wanted to go to. As beautiful as it is, it's just one that for whatever reason or other, I just, when you have 160 watches, there's so many different options. It's one that just doesn't really get worn all that much. Sorry, my phone's dinging there. All right, so let's talk about the specifics of the watch here. You have a 50 millimeter case diameter that's at the bezel. Remember, you're going to get a little more meat when it comes to those crown and function pushers, but we generally measure a watch by the bezel measurement, so you have 50 millimeters. As far as the case thickness on this, I don't have a measurement on this. I'm going to guess and say this is probably about 20 millimeters of case thickness. Has a nice tall wrist presence, and you can see from the side, I love the way this one looks on the side. It's something I really love about the Noma 5 is that it really has a lot going on from the side. It just doesn't look like it's the plain old boring watch. Like, it's really unique. I love the way it looks, and it does have a really nice presence. Again, I'd say about 20, 21 millimeters. You have water resistance up to 500 meters. It is a quartz movement. This is powered by a Caliber G10 2011. I never really get too involved in the movements, but I know Invicta did. You'll find Seiko movements in Invictas. You'll find Rondas. You'll find all kinds of movements. What I like about Invicta, and I've said it many times, is that they handle all the designs and the quality of the watch in-house, and then they let somebody else who deals with movements. Let the pros deal with the movements, and they'll just slap them in the watch. And I kind of tend to prefer that. I know a lot of guys in the watch community will say, oh, it's an in-house movement. I don't think that's really, it doesn't really make any sense to me to just think it's good if it's an in-house movement. If you have some, company X making a watch that doesn't really know anything about movements, has no real history making movements, and just because it's in-house doesn't mean it's great, it doesn't mean it's better, it just means it's something they've decided to do and put their name on it. So, I like the fact that a company uses a movement made by another company. I like the fact it's something done on many, many micro-brand watches. It's a very common practice. And I actually, I'm not saying I prefer it. Like, I wouldn't be dissuaded from a company doing an in-house movement, but I like the fact that if I buy a watch like this, I know I'm getting a company who specializes in movements, and they're doing their part to make this a fantastic watch. Flame Fusion Crystal. It is a 316 stainless steel case. You do have, again, that rose tone plating. Like with all the plating by Invicta, you're not going to have any problems with wear. I've never had, of all my watches, I've never had any problems with the plating coming off. Screw down crown and function pushers, and again, it says your size is on the band is 28 millimeters thick, 210 millimeters in length. So I believe that's around 9 inches, which reminds me I have to find the links to this guy in case he has a larger wrist. I'll throw those in with the watch, of course. Just a stunning piece. Now, the battery is dead in this, and with any of the Invictas that I decide to part with, they do need a battery, so that's something the guy's going to have to get. It is something that I've listed in the auction. But for the price point, $169, it's very fair deal. Now, I want to also touch on guys who are like, oh, well, if you buy an Invicta, you're stuck with it. I hear that from the haters. Fortunately, a lot of the comments on my channel are not from Invicta haters. But, some guys, I think one guy the other day said, oh, I have a $60 Invicta, I'm stuck with it. My Rolex I can sell for more. Well, yeah, that's common sense. If there's a demand for something, you can sell it. But you can't simply just state that because you purchase a brand X watch that you can't sell it after that, because it's just not true. Invicta may produce tons and tons of different model watches, thousands of different styles and designs, but at some point, usually, they stop producing it. This is one that they just don't produce anymore. It doesn't mean they won't produce it again, but as of right now, if you want to buy this, you're either going to have to find old stock or something previously owned, like in this case. And so, when that happens, you're going to be able to get money for your watch. Every Invicta watch that I've gotten tired of, wearing, or I just wanted to get something new for whatever reason, if it doesn't get a lot of wrist time and it's in great condition, I will tend to sell it. Now, usually I'm not going to make money on a watch. I do have some Invictas that I can make money on. However, that's generally not the rule. But you will get some of your money back. And this is a perfect example of another Invicta watch that I paid roughly around $200 for. I'm getting $169 for. And to be honest with you, I don't really remember what I paid. Something tells me maybe I paid $179, but still, nonetheless, I got to wear it, enjoy it, and then now I get to move on to something else and give this a new home to somebody who maybe is really passionate about this style. There's so many different models out there. Guys ask me all the time, what's your top 5 watches? I really can't give you that. I have ones that I tend to gravitate towards more, but I can't really label them as also my favorite Invicta because I really appreciate all of them. Again, the only time I part with a watch is if it's just something I don't wear. Now there are situations where I've gotten watches as sponsorship agreements in lieu of a video payment. Like when I first started out, companies like I think Sterling and Alexander watches, they sent me a whole slew of watches. It's a great opportunity. I've always wanted some Sterling and Alexander watches, so some of them were definitely my style. Other ones, they're beautiful watches, but you guys know I'm not really a dress watch kind of guy. I always prefer a bracelet over a leather strap. I sold a few of those just because if I'm not going to wear it, they're not doing me any good just sitting in my safe. I'd rather sell them and get something that I'm going to wear, and I can do another video and provide fresh content, more information for you guys. Not to make it about like I'm doing you a favor, but it's a win-win around around the whole board. So again, that's the only reason I part with a watch. It has nothing to do with me not being happy with it. This is a fine quality watch. Again, the only thing it needs is a battery. Let's go ahead and throw it on the wrist. So I have a 7-inch wrist. I weigh about 178 pounds as of this morning, and about 5'7.5". So this will give you an idea. Again, I know I repeat myself in every video, but of what a 50 millimeter watch looks like on a guy I'll tell you, I hate doing a video right before I sell a watch because I get it. I put the watch on and I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't have sold this. It is, after having it on the wrist, I'm like, man, oh, man, it is a beautiful watch. But, you know, that's the way it goes. You know, once you sell it, it's just one that I never really, now I'm kind of having second thoughts. I might have to rethink this. Man. It has a very chiseled look, is what I like about it, you know. Man, I don't... What have I done? Why did I do this? No, I committed. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to do it. But, man, it is a stunning watch. And I really hope that I don't come to regret this. The thing about this is that I only have one Noma 3, whereas like some of the other ones, like the Sea Hunters, I have like 4 or 5 of them. I don't mind parting with one, you know. But this one, damn, man, I'm not going to lie. I am kind of having second thoughts after putting this on the wrist. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I know by the time this video is live, this will probably be in the mail, I'm sure. But, you know, the thing is, the reason why I sell some of the watches is you know, I have so many that, you know, and I like to collect, you know, firearms and other things too. So it's money I could free up that's like kind of like free money. You know, it's not tapping into my savings or any of my income or anything like that. It's just money I'm like, all right, well, now I can flip it over and try something different. Anybody who collects kind of knows, kind of has that mentality, I think. But it really is, oh, man, it is nice though. After I stop this video, I'm going to really have to think about this. So anyway, guys, 7-inch wrist, you know, 50mm case diameter at the bezel. It's a beautiful piece, and I know if I make it to the post office with this, it's going to go to a guy who's really going to appreciate it. I mean, it is a stunning piece. Hope you guys can see that. I get a lot of reflection here from this ring light, but yeah, it's nice. All right, guys, well, that may have been the final time you're going to see a Subaqua Noma 3 on this channel. Wanted to put up fresh content, do one last video before I say goodbye. Damn, no, I'm just kidding. It is a nice piece. Let me know what you guys think. I do still, even though it's going to be going away here, it's going to be shipped out today. I do appreciate if you guys drop a comment. Let me know, you know, did I do the right thing? Would you have kept it? Would you moved on? What do you guys think? I am curious. So anyway, guys, have a great weekend. Subscribe to the channel. Be kind to one another and take care.